Today on Media Litter Sandwich, we talk about...
NAB, where content comes to life.
Okay, National Associated Broadcasters Convention, going to video photography conventions, microphone comparisons. Not me comparing this time. Seriously, check it out. All sorts of stuff. Welcome to the Media Litter Sandwich, where media creators talk about the world around creating media, whether we are in focus or not. Apparently from last episode and what almost happened this episode.
2 episodes ago.
2 episodes ago, too?
Because last episode would have been PenguinCon.
You're right. I didn't even get to check to see if that's in focus or not. Brad's still learning a little bit. It's okay.
Manual focus, though.
Yeah, that's manual focus. So, I'm Toad from Toaden.com, youtube.com/ToadenK. With me is William from
AllAboutWilliam.com.
This episode is sponsored by Turtle Trinkets. They do not have a web store, but you can check out their Facebook and be like, oh, look at all these wonderful pop culture necklace things. If you're in the Detroit or Toledo area, you can probably find them at numerous amounts of trade shows, because we love trade shows, we love conventions, we love all that stuff. And one of the guys I met going to Zombie Walks, he's been on the show before. I'm going to attempt to say your full name.
Right.
I'm going to attempt it.
Right, go ahead, try it.
Jason Paluchniak.
Ding, ding, yes.
Oh,
you got it.
yes!
You got it. You're a winner.
This is like your third or fourth time on the show.
Thank you for having me here.
Let me actually move this
Move this
microphone
over. All right,
a little
there
bit
we go.
closer to you.
The first time you've been on the show and I was able to show up.
Yeah, this is the first time we're here together on the same
Really?
show. Yeah.
Uh-huh. You know, something has always happened when he's on the show.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I got my two photographer, I got my other photographer coming on. I need both my photographers to talk photography. How many times did I just say photography?
But today we're not going to be talking about photography. I went over to the NAB show in the
Las Vegas one. Yep.
And
National Association of Broadcasters, which is a real association, and they put on several big shows. But you went to their biggest show, which is in Las Vegas.
This thing is huge.
The entire Las Vegas Convention Center, including one of the parking lots.
Yeah.
I've been there as well. I didn't go this year, but I've been there in the past.
Just to show you how big the Las Vegas Convention Center is, the Cobo Hall in Detroit. You know, everyone knows the Cobo Hall one, right?
No, if they're not from Detroit.
Oh, well, Detroit. The auto show or whatever. But
I think the only convention center that's really bigger is the Atlanta Convention Center in Georgia, which is the largest in the United States, if not, I don't know about the world, but the Atlanta one is the largest in the United States, and I think Las Vegas is in the top 5.
Yeah, Las Vegas one is 5 times bigger than the Cobo Hall.
Yeah.
To get a reference of how big it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, Cobo Hall's not the biggest convention center. I mean, even Anaheim
But Detroit
is bigger
Auto
than
Show,
that.
reference.
Okay.
But it was my first time there, and I was like a little kid in a toy store. All these aisles, it was amazing with all this. We got audio and video and cranes and bags and lectures and
this isn't exactly. This is not like CES Consumer Electronics Show. This is a much more of a professional level. You can say there's a lot of prosumer stuff, but this is made for your production companies to go to, even though they have a large podcaster area too.
they have a podcaster area there.
It's so big. And you found a booth that did something that I used to do on this channel all the time. Go ahead and tell us about that.
So it's a fractal recording with this. I forgot the guy's name at the moment, but.
No one knows how fractal recording is.
That's his website. I'm giving a plug.
That's his website. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. Whoa.
And
you know what fractal recording is now? Look it up. Google it. Go to his website. Yay. Sorry. Go ahead.
So he has this booth with 20 different microphones, and we a little audio skit and going through all of them. So if you're curious on what's a $20 mic versus a $600 mic, and we'll show you that clip. Could we show them right now? Or?
Yep. Make sure you're wearing headphones for the best effect. Go for it.
All right, so listen to this.
All right, this is the Behringer XM 1800S microphone, and I just want to say these 3 words. Media litter sandwich. That's right. Media litter sandwich. All right, this is the Audio-Technica ATR 2100. That's what mic this is, and media litter sandwich. All right, this is the Sennheiser E835. Oh, sounds, well, I'm not going to say how it sounds. You have to decide. And this is media litter sandwich. All right, this is the PR30. This is the Heil PR30. And when I'm hungry, I like to eat a media litter sandwich. All right, this is the PR40, the Heil PR40. Why do I always forget to say Heil? Anyway, when I'm hungry and I'm talking on a Heil PR40, sometimes I like to, have some finger foods, including media litter sandwich. All right, this is the Audio-Technica BP40. Oh, man, with the metal pop filter, and it always tastes better with a media litter sandwich. All right, this is a Shure SM7B. Oh, that's pretty smooth, man. I used to use this mic, Shure SM7B media litter sandwich. All right, this is the Rode Broadcaster. The Rode Broadcaster. This is the only condenser mic in the lineup, and that's what's good for media litter sandwich. All right, this is the RE320. Oh man, this is like butter. This is the Electro Voice RE320 media litter sandwich style. Thank you. And here is the big boy, the Electro Voice RE20 media litter sandwich. You might want to just use an RE20. Thank you.
Yeah, because the headphones, you could hear the audio. You could hear the people in the background on some of them. Some of them you can't. And so listening to that little clip in the car with the headphones on, and it was kind of cool. All these different mics, all in one little thing there.
I love that he wasn't representing a brand, because most time, at NAB you have a lot of booths like that where you could just go up and listen to this microphone, listen to that microphone. You can do it a lot of different audio center trade shows. He was representing a podcast, like course, college type thing.
Yeah, so he has different classes, and you could go there and and check
so
it out.
He had a lot of the most used microphones. I mean, a lot of the microphones I see when I go through studios and whatnot, and I've used several of these microphones in different production gigs. So it's really cool. They had all these most used podcast type microphones laid out, and goes through one by one. And I can tell you right now, when my audio engineers I work with listened to it, and he was blown away how much the $15 one sounded, which you could buy a pack of 3 of them for like $35.
There you go.
And you could see me comparing the exact same microphone probably once or twice if you go back in the archives of the YouTube channel or on my website, Toaden.com. Shameless plug.
So there was so much. I walked like 9 miles one day, 6 miles the other day. There's so much to do and see over there. And they had these individual classes you could have. They Avid. They had classes for Avid, and they had classes for a whole bunch of other stuff. And they had these expensive lenses and expensive cameras. I'm holding a $200,000 camera. And
right. Let's. I do want to say a couple more. Give the guy his due when it comes to the microphone thing. I do want to say that definitely, if you didn't listen with headphones on, put headphones on. It's really helpful. But you have to keep in mind something else too. Processors make a big deal, because I used to do that stuff with my camera, and I would get a different sound. Whether even right now with these microphones, I get a different sound when I'm going into the camera versus going to my Zoom recorder here versus going into a mixer into the camera or going into the Zoom recorder. You get a different sound on all of those, and what you heard on that was the raw sound unfiltered. So you gotta think some of those things you can kind of tweak and post around a mixer to make it a little deeper. Change the EQ up and filters. So you have to keep that in mind as well. Yeah. So there's a lot that goes into when you're using audio. That's why audio is such a big thing and such a big part. But yeah, you're talking about some of the wonders of NAB. You totally. Oh man, all the camera. Yeah, tell us more about when you jump on the cameras, the scenes that are set up.
Yeah, they have a live scene where someone's like cooking something or stitching something together, and then they have or someone's doing volleyball back and forth. So you could practice the focusing and so forth.
We're
for the
not
lighting.
talking one scene. Some of these
Multiple booths.
Multiple booths. We're talking Blackmagic's got their stuff, and sometimes multiple scenes. We're talking Panasonic's got their stuff, multiple scenes. You could have aerobics going on 1 hour, the next hour, like you said, a cooking show or a dancing contest. I was going through the live feeds. So many people cover NAB. We're not covering NAB because I don't think we could do it just, but I do want to put that out there that it is a thing to keep your eyes out on because so much gets announced. I mean, a lot of stuff gets announced at CES and South by Southwest and a couple other things, but NAB is definitely one of the big ones for broadcasters and for audio. It was and video and all that
accelerated learning for me because to get my hands on the thing and talk to the developers or the people that make it, or the salespeople, and then learning how to use the product from the people that actually make the product, and you could from a cheap version to the real expensive version, you could really appreciate how some of the stuff is made and how it's supposed to be done properly.
Yeah, if you can't afford NAB, which most of us can, if the company doesn't before, there's a lot of other trade shows around, and because it's the same vendors that go to NAB that they would, if Sennheiser is sending a vendor out to another show, it's usually the same people that go to that show, and there's plenty of other smaller companies that go out. I know one of the smaller trade shows I like to go to, just because it's sort of local to here, is GearFest from Sweetwater. Yes, Sweetwater's an amazing vendor. I buy stuff from Sweetwater, B&H, all around on Amazon. Just putting my cards out there. One of the good things about Sweetwater is they will always give you a call back and go over your order with you. Because, William, you've told me stories about this.
Oh, yeah. They've helped me a lot. They've been like, you have this. This requires this very special thing. No? Well, if you want to buy that, it can be this. Or if you want us to cancel that order.
Oh, yeah, there's times where they're like, I see you buying this and this. Well, you could get, well, what are you doing? Because they're all musicians. They know their stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, oh, you could get this, and you could actually save money. I think this would actually serve you better if you do this.
Yeah, I actually did get, recommendations on cheaper options that didn't require whatever adapter or... I forget what it was that I needed. It's been a few years, but...
Yeah, they're really awesome, and they put on a trade show every year called GearFest, where, again, you could go there and you could talk to the people actually selling
where's
it.
That at?
Indiana.
Oh, okay.
Indiana.
Oh, not too far.
Indianapolis, Indiana, yeah.
Yeah, their warehouse is huge. It's amazing to see. They have really cool stuff in there. And you don't buy... Now, that one you don't buy from the vendor. You buy from Sweetwater. They actually have people walking around. Or you're just like, hey, excuse me, I want to buy this and this and this. And then at the end, you just check out and they give you a slip and you go wait for them to bring it out of the warehouse. So you don't even carry anything if you do buy any. Now, keep in mind, it's not the newest stuff, but you get a lot of information from that as well. So there's a lot of other trade shows and stuff. In fact, NAB also does, they're going around right now doing like a NAB Light where they talk about the highlights of NAB. So there are things out there, and there's a lot of people that cover it. And there's not just NAB Las Vegas, there's NAB New York, and there's also NAM, National Association Music. So that's in the Anaheim Convention Center, same place they do VidCon. So there's a lot of... I'm sorry, I'm stealing your thunder.
No, it's good. Yeah. But they had all these classes there. It was amazing that, you learn a whole bunch of stuff. So
I want to know how many people scratch their heads like, I thought you only go to cosplay conventions. Oh. Sorry.
But it was fun because, like you said, all these vendors are there. Even my waterproof housing for my camera, he happens to be there, and he was doing a private underwater photo shoot we reserved a pool. And so I was like, oh, yeah. So I talked to him, and I was like, yeah, let's do this underwater pool. And I was invited to it, and it was amazing to see how the people that make the underwater housing, how do they do underwater photography? So I learned it from the manufacturer. And there's all these other safety things that I didn't know about that they talked about. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize that until you mentioned that, all the safety stuff about underwater. And I mean, and not just like lifeguards and so forth, but there's like rope. So when you come up to swim, you could hold onto a rope so you're not just treading water, and then you push off, and then you could go back underwater, take some more pictures, and then come back up. And the rope is nice, something you could rest in between shots, and then take a breath, and then go back down.
That's awesome. So you learning stuff. You've been doing underwater photography for a while.
Yeah. This problem though, Michigan, we got Lake Murky, so I can't really do a lot here, but in like Florida or California, you got all these beautiful clean lakes, but we had a pool, and that was awesome too. It was deep. It was a 20-foot deep pool.
Cool.
I don't usually go that deep. That was
No, I don't usually go that deep either.
It was really constricting. Yeah.
Now you went ahead and you got footage not just for us, even though we're really thankful for it, but it's for yourself. And there was a couple other things you wanted to highlight.
Oh yeah, there was this Descript software. It was fascinating. We'll show you a clip in a second, but basically you drop in an audio file. It could be 10 minutes or 2 hours long or however, and it OCRs it where it gets the text. And then let's say you have a file and you said 500 degrees, and you're like, oh, I meant to say 300 degrees. You type in 500, and it finds the WAV file, and then you could clip it out and re-put your voice in there with saying, oh, 300 or the right number. Or the other thing is like if you did a 2-hour show and you want to get rid of all the ums and likes, you could just type in and like, and it would find the audio file and it would clip it out and remove all that.
So let me simplify that and go back over it, because that's a lot.
A lot to take
I
in.
love the way you summed it up really fast. Let me. So if I said 600 and I meant 500, it would find exactly where I said it, isolate it, so I can pre-record over that.
Yeah, because otherwise you would have to go, okay, I know I said 500, it was maybe a 30 minutes or 40 minutes into the thing. So you're spending all this time trying to scrub through.
It finds it for you.
It finds it for you.
Right. And the other thing you said was it will, if you want to delete every time, oh my God, I can't say William's name. Lawyers won't let me. So I write in William's name, and it will find every time I say William and delete it for me. And so would it trim down, not trim, but would
you could have it trimmed down, or if you have, like someone said a cuss word, you could have it put a bleep in there and replace with the cuss word.
Okay, so if it's just audio only, we're not worried about video. It would. It could actually cut where and press the audio files together. Ripple delete. That's what I'm looking for. It'll do a ripple delete.
Yeah. It would do that for video too, because
if you wanted it to.
Yeah.
And if you wanted just to leave it blank or replace it with a beep, you can do that.
Yeah, and it's a huge time saver for anyone that's doing audio files. And that one was called Descript.
Okay, so let's go ahead and watch a little bit of a clip
this is
of that.
website.
Remember, video version is different than the audio.
With Descript, you can view any audio file as text and then edit it in the same way you'd use a sewing machine. I mean, a word processor. You'd use a word processor. After you've transcribed and edited your audio, you can publish it to the web and share it with friends who can listen and leave comments right on the transcript.
Okay, so I'm not sure how much you got from that, because it kind of just, it just sounds like somebody talking. And if you're even watching it, like the first time I watched it, I'm like, what's the big deal with this? But it's a smart software that does more than just speech to text.
Yeah, because it clips the beginning and the end of the word. And then so you don't have to go scrubbing and trying to find the exact millisecond of time.
Right, because there are softwares, some of them even come with editing softwares, where it will go ahead and caption everything for you, and then you have to read through it, make sure it's right, make sure it caught you right, and while you're doing the captioning and set that up. But this will actually set up captions for you. Okay.
And it's a new company, and they have a whole bunch of different things that they're going to expand out to.
Right. And people spend a lot of money for captions, by the way. I mean, I know there's higher YouTubers that straight up say, yep, here's my new video. Yeah, and they're all captioned. They spend like $50 to $100 per video, if not more. I don't remember. I don't want to say the guy's name that comes straight to mind, but there's a few people that I know straight up that are decent sized YouTubers that pay for their captioning companies. Hey, let us know what you think. You know, you can always comment on the YouTube channel or whatever you're watching on. I prefer to actually have the discussion in the Media Litter Sandwich Facebook group, which we do post the videos and the audios in. So you just find this in there and
I love
tell
how
us your
people
thoughts.
posting some things there. And, oh, that's cool there. You know, like,
Oh, absolutely. In the group, we totally want you could totally self promote. Just answer the questions. I just want to know that you read the questions, so I know you're gonna do other things in the group. I don't care how you answer them, truth be told. If you are watching this and you're joining the group right now, the Facebook Media Litter Sandwich, I don't care which question you answer this. Just say, you sent me here, you told me about this when you're babbling about NAB. That lets me know, you know, just read the questions. That's all.
So there's so much, there's like hours and hours I could talk about stuff, but I want to talk about one other cool thing, that crane cams. I was like, oh, who uses a crane cam? Why can't I just use a drone? Well, a lot of times you can't use a drone because it's noisy or there's trees in the way.
Yeah, you can't use the audio with the drone for sure.
And then
it's just video is what you use the drone
and so they're showing me all this stuff is like, well, you could put a crane cam over a pool, so when you get the swimmer, you could get up to the swimmer speed, and then you get some cool video.
Now, okay. Let me. You're not talking about a crane cam.
What
You're talking about cable.
Cable cam. Sorry,
Yes,
cable cam.
Because
Sorry,
a crane
cable.
is you're actually on a.
Yeah.
You know, you're on.
They had them
thing.
there too. They had them on top of cars, and they had people attached to them jumping from one car to the next.
Okay, so what he's talking about is cable
cam.
cams.
Sorry, cable cam. Yes.
So you set up a cable from one spot to another spot, and the cam would move across the cable, kind of like a zip line.
Yeah, it'll go down and back. And some of them you could adjust the speed, and then it would accelerate and slow down. Some of them you had like a little remote control car thing.
You could use it like a slider.
Yeah.
You can use it like a robotic slider, except for you have a longer path. And you have a little bit of clip of this too, right?
Yeah, just a little guy showing you could see what a cable cam looks like.
Okay, so
Yeah,
here's
so-
a clip so you can see what the cable cam looks like. Again, video version is different than the audio. This is only real quick.
Yeah, just a quick video.
So this is the HiSight Mini. It's a fully autonomous cable camera system that allows you to set the speed and distance, and then you set it on its way. It'll go down and back, come back to you, and allows you to really focus on your shot versus focusing on the cable cam. Comes in at $995, and with this cable, 150 feet of cable.
Yeah, so
Cool.
it's really small. It's just a little bit bigger than a GoPro, really.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you tie it to a tree, or you could put it on a ladder and like.
Yeah, because drones are restrictive sometimes. You can't use a drone everywhere. You can't use it indoor. Well, you can use it indoors.
And
but
you can
depends
hang
where
it
you
from the
use it.
ceiling too. Sometimes you get the scaffolding, you can hang it from the ceiling.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, when it comes to drones, this stuff, I remember there was one vendor. Wait, do you remember the name of the vendor you're talking about right now?
Shoot, no, like. I have to
Okay,
look
well,
it
it's in the video.
up. It's in the video. I'm trying to make him do more work.
Oh, man, you know, I try to edit these as fast as I can. You know, and I always prop out people that do that. So I'm going to prop out Bo from DV Radio, which is currently editing the other podcast I'm on, which is not dysfunctional, disgruntled discussions. That's right. I'm on. We will be on Dysfunctional Veterans Radio. So DV Radio will be on there at some point in June. Early June. We will get Bo on the show before that, hopefully, and talk to him because, dude, Bo runs this radio station and he does way more than just that. It's gonna be a really good interview once we get him to roll on here. Media Litter Sandwich will be on Dysfunctional Veterans Radio, WDVR.net, coming up in early June. And we'll actually be in the chat rooms when at least one of us will always be in the chat room whenever it airs. So, but more news on that later. NAB. Dude, it's one of those things. I mean, now
Well,
we're
last year, you said you went last year, right?
I went last year.
What was the highlights you saw when you were over there?
There's just so much to see at NAB. As I said, you can be there all week and not see everything.
And that, I tried to see everything, I couldn't. I was
Right.
going up and down the aisles, I couldn't. You just
I
have
had
to pick
a
and choose.
list of things for me to see,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it took me a really long time to
Mm-hmm.
find and they had interactive maps and everything. Still
Yeah.
took me really hard time to find. And just because you're in one of the things I was looking at last year was gimbals,
Mm-hmm.
and so I walked around the gimbal sections. I even had. It was really cool because a couple of them, when I was asking different questions, they actually brought the engineer out. The engineer that designed the some of the devices are at these events, especially the smaller companies. So I was talking to an engineer with a translator there because it was
Yeah.
a foreign company. So I had a translator, me and then the engineer, trying to figure out ways to make their gimbal work with certain products that I had concerns with. It was really cool. And the gimbal vendor I was really looking for was nowhere near any of this. So
And the technology
you gotta
on these
keep in
gimbals
mind that
are going up
not
crazy.
everything's all together just because things cost money to be.
Yeah, if you want to be on the main floor, it's going to cost more than something on the second floor way out in the corner.
There's so much stuff there. Like, like you said, you're walking a ton of, a ton.
Oh man, I'm so glad I bought brand new shoes the month before because I knew every time I go on these big excursions, buy new shoes before you go on these big
And
excursions.
break 'em in.
Break them in, yeah.
Break them in. You will mess up your feet if you buy brand new shoes and then walk all day,
Yeah.
all week or all weekend, whatever it is. You may hurt your feet, so break them in first. I can tell you that firsthand.
Because normally if I go to like New York or something, or before I do that, I'm at the gym. I'm walking 45 minutes on the gym trying to exercise more. So when I get to New York, I'm healthy enough to, go with the natives in New York and keep up with them. And
But the really cool thing about NAB is, you're walking around all day. You need to take a rest. There are not only is there paid workshops and stuff, and these are good workshops. In fact, NAB is open a week before the trade show is open just for classes. I mean, they are very expensive, but it is real training.
oh, I saw a class for $1,000.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy crap.
It's more than just
$1,000?
classes. There's conventions that piggyback on top of it. And conferences that piggyback on top of it. So, I mean, the entire area is being used. But it's cool because there are open sort of classes like Adobe. Adobe has a big showroom type thing there where you can literally just sit there and they go over Premiere, they go over Photoshop. I learned so many tricks just sitting there while I'm charging my phone. I'm sitting there charging my phone or checking my emails, and they're like, okay, this workshop's about things you probably didn't know about, Photoshop. And they were doing video in Photoshop just to show you different things you can do. And it was, seriously, because Adobe changes so many things, it was fantastic. And then I was sitting outside somewhere else, and I'm watching there's so many really cool things going on that you could just sit down and watch.
And then also, too, like you got the developers there and you got the salespeople there. I was in the Canon booth, and I was just like, hey, how come this 50mm lens doesn't have face detection? And it was like, oh, it should. And then so we plug it in, and like this 50mm lens doesn't have face detection, but all the other lenses do. And then someone else says, yeah, we don't have face detection on this. So we tried it, and then we talked to the salesperson and got that up to engineering. I was like, hey, when is this going to come out? And they're like, oh, that's going to be on the next wave of software updates. So, I would have not gotten that information. But I would have, got that information there on the show floor because we were, put more weight on our voices are heard.
If you'd like us to go to NAB next year or any other trade show, talk to me. Podcast at Media Layer Sandwich. We do accept sponsorships.
Or what do you want to learn from this? We could tell
We can
you
bring people on. I just
We could interview
I just-
people for you over there, and
I just want money so I can go.
Me too.
oh, yeah. So, oh man, Vegas has got expensive now with the resort fees. So you got to be careful of that. You get outside of the Vegas Strip, and they don't have the expensive resort fees. But NAB says, "Oh, go to these hotels. It'll be a lot cheaper, and do what NAB says, though, and they're closer." And there's a monorail, so if you take another hotel, you could take the monorail to the convention center.
Another cool thing that they do is there's several hotels that NAB works with where they actually have shuttles. And they also
yes. Free shuttles, I think.
Free shuttles.
Yep.
Yep, they're absolutely free. Because that's one of the things I did. I either took a shuttle or I took a taxi. And then the people that sent me out there, which wasn't for the podcast, I got reimbursed for that because that was for the day job. But so they got shuttles, and they also, which was really cool, I was able to register and get my badge and everything right there in the hotel. I just walked in the lobby, and they gave me my badge and everything right there. Didn't have to worry about the next day.
And they had classes, too, in some of those hotels, too.
Okay.
Because it's so big.
Oh, the ones that are right next to the convention center.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I stayed further away.
He avoided the resort fee.
I wasn't paying for it. My day job sent me, so I wasn't paying for it. I just went where they told me to go, where the group decided to go and stuff like that. I was very lucky, yes. But you have to understand, that's one of the main things for NAB. It is actual companies. It's not exactly price for an individual to go. As William and I have talked about this, there's a lot of workshops and seminars and trade shows and conventions that aren't actually meant for the individual. They're not meant for your hobby YouTuber to go to. Although you can find things like NAB. If you just want to go to the trade show itself, there's ways to get free tickets. You could get a free ticket just to go to the trade show.
Yeah.
It's when you factor in going to the classes and everything. That's what's really going to cost you. Because I went NAB last year, I could have got tickets to the trade show for free. Doesn't cover anything else, but I could at least went to this huge trade show that I can never see everything else from. But but there's a lot of things out there not focused on the individual. It's focused on companies. That might be whatever where that falls. It's neither here or there. Just no. There's ways to learn all this stuff. As if you're watching this or listening, you already know.
But there's all these other YouTube videos of highlights of NAB this, NAB that, so you could see
a lot of podcasts, probably every single photography and a good amount of the videography ones already talk about NAB. That's one reason why we didn't put this out right after NAB. We want, this is an evergreen topic. I feel like traveling and getting footage. I mean, Jason, thank you so much for getting that footage for us. You want, you paid for this out of your pocket?
Yeah, yes.
Was it worth it?
Definitely. The amount of stuff I learned was invaluable. That I learned a whole bunch of stuff I wouldn't learn from a book or from another class, but to be there with all the the talent, and then
Did you take any of the paid classes?
I paid for one, but I was so busy doing something else, I totally missed it.
Okay.
But doing the underwater photography was fun. And then I happened to have several of my friends happen to be there on birthday party weekend. And then so I was like, hey, I got all these like 6 people from Detroit happened to be there. And so we had a party. It's
Las Vegas. You will always run into somebody that you might know. I ran into so many people that I knew. They're like, oh, you're going to this convention? No, I'm going to that convention. Oh, we're going to this one. Oh, by the way, this person's here on a bachelor party. Oh, this person's over here for that. It's just so you
and
always
every hotel has
always run into somebody.
Every hotel has a different convention going on too. So it was amazing that.
And I do want to shout out one more time to the person that did the microphone comparisons, because I think that was awesome. And he made it so funny and shouting us out. That was so cool. Who was that again? Okay, you're checking your notes. William.
Chris.
Chris. Chris Coran from...
Fractal Recording.
Fractal Recording. Okay, we will put that in the show notes for sure, and I'll try to put all three of the companies we talked about in the show notes. When I say show notes, I mean description, because I don't do. People describe show notes in different ways, so I'm just gonna say descriptions.
It's gonna be somewhere.
Yeah, it'll be in the descriptions on the websites and all.
So I mean, you heard us talking. Would that be something interested that you want to go maybe one year?
Definitely.
What would be one topic that you would want to see or check out? What booth? What would be interesting for you?
Well, I would definitely want to check out all of it, but the cable cam was actually very interesting, and I definitely want to check out stuff like that.
I mean, you were Jason. I'm sorry, William never talks, and here I am cutting him off. I just want to say, Jason. There's so many booths that you really enjoyed. It was funny to me that one of the booths that you really enjoyed was the mic flags.
Yeah, it was the mic. What was it? It was
the mic flags.
The mic flags, yeah.
Yeah, so whenever you watch the news, that little thing on top of their microphones.
On-air mic flags.
On-air mic flags.
That's what it was called.
It has the news name on it.
Channel 7 Action News or ESPN. And so, but I get to meet the people that make this. And then, it was like, now every time I see the news, I see, on-air mic flags. It's this guy here, and that's where they bought it from. It's this company here, and it's like I can't unsee it now because every time I see someone holding a mic flag, I was like, that I know who made that. I know who made that. And but if you have someone that's in broadcasting, you're like, what do I give him for his birthday or Christmas? You could probably just buy him a little mic flag. That would be a fun thing. It's like,
yeah. So, where can we find the footage, or where can I find more stuff about you?
I put something on my Facebook page, or my YouTube page too. A little extra clips that we saw here and some extra stuff.
How can they find your YouTube page?
Just look at my name, Jason Paluchniak.
Okay, they can't spell your name.
Yeah,
it's in the description.
It's in the descriptions. Yeah,
it's in the description. But go ahead and humor us and spell it for us.
All right, Paluchniak, and if you had questions about NAB, I could answer them for you too.
Okay, so they can find you through your YouTube and through your website and all that good stuff. We talk. This is the Jason P. We talk about a lot, or Jason, long Polish name that we can't pronounce. Although I pronounced it, Jason.
You got it right the first time. Yep.
William, where can we find you?
At allaboutwilliam.com.
Where they could find
all sorts of photos from different cons that I've been to, and maybe even some vlogs coming up.
Yeah, William just posted his PenguinCon stuff. Jason, I know you're working on your PenguinCon stuff. Yeah. My PenguinCon stuff will be up very soon if it's not already up when this comes out. PenguinCon was just the last convention we went to. We go to a ton of conventions. I believe the next one is Downriver Comic-Con. Yep. We will also, that's in Michigan.
I think when this comes out, I would have already been to Motor City Comic-Con.
Okay.
Yep.
And then I believe... Anyways, and then what else is coming out? A ton of stuff. We'll be all... Check our websites if you're curious where we're going to go. I might need to update it, but so it should be updated by the time this comes out. Big thank you to Turtle Trinkets for sponsoring us. If you would like to sponsor our show, go ahead and reach out to me at podcast@MediaLitterSandwich.com. You can also hit me up for any other questions, but I prefer for questions, let's do group discussions. Facebook, Media Litter Sandwich Group, and you can also follow the Media Litter Sandwich page. You can find me at Toaden.com. YouTube.com/ToadenK for the video. You can find this podcast at TuneIn, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, whatever it's called now. You can find us all over the place. There's only a few I know that we're not on. So if we're not on what you listen to, let us know, and I'll see if I could get on there without paying extra money. Guess which ones I'm not on. So yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed our discussion, and may the algorithms be in your favor.
See ya.
Later.